let's talk about World of Triple Tree. Very intriguing. Nako, a scene like open Kangane just sets you in the mood, and you know for a fact that there's something really sinister happening here. Ilanti establishments, but ilanti hospitals and ilanti concepts, are they still existing?
All the lobotomy and the conversion therapies have become illegal now. They've been banned. So whoever is doing this is doing illegally. But yeah, otherwise the asylums do exist, but they're abandoned right now and not accessible.
Where did you draw these references? Like, I'm pretty sure that it would have given you the gist of it and to an extent took a look of it. What was your process from there on?
References or lookbook or whatever, I had asked him to give me a week's time so that I can do my own research, and I'm glad I asked for it because I got to watch many documentaries and videos in Vimeo and YouTube, and I read many articles of these abandoned power plants and asylums.
Right.
How do they look majorly as of now? Because I don't want any newly freshly built thing, right? So
right.
Now they're abandoned and aged and like very crooked, and
right.
It really helped me to go through those actual references and get inspired from. So I observed many of them in terms of corridor or the props or the windows. So all these photographers and videographers who go there and capture those images
and actual essence of it, yeah.
Yes, so that really helped me a lot to understand how these asylums were built and maintained, or how they look like.
Right. So like Telugu movies lo ఎక్కువ చూడలేదు ఇలాంటి వైబ్ అని అంటాను. మేబీ మయూరిలో చూసాను అనుకుంటా, మెంటల్ అసైలమ్, మాయావనంలో అదంతాను. Any movies, what were your reference points there?
I couldn't find a reference as such, like exact reference, but me and the director had our own favorites or inspirations anachu. He had Old Boy for the corridor. I had Hostel for the corridor. There was Snowpiercer for the doors we referred to because the doors were like metal and very heavy. Shape of Water majorly inspired us a lot. Like I watched the entire film to get inspired from that palette. Specifically, palette was something we decided to follow very strictly, being that was the COVID era also. So you directly connect with green in terms of medicine or medical facilities. So green was something we went for, not noticed, but it's subconsciously.
That was my question. Yeah. Following that
is
how did you achieve that scary, dingy, claustrophobic?
Giving importance to the texture of the walls, to the floor, and the colors we used in different layers and multiple shades of it. Like the green wouldn't be just one green painted on the wall. There was layers of painting done. Like I would do olive green first, and then a teal on top of it, and somewhere a little bit of brownish sap green. So all of that mixed together is what Triple Three's wall or the corridor or the therapy room wall, all of them underwent many washes of. The way I paint is also not brush and roller. I mix paint in buckets of water, and I love throwing splash, and that dripping gives you the feeling of those seepages or the drippings of
ill maintenance.
Yes. So that's why you felt so ruthlessly maintaining these, and
they're treating these guys as only subjects.
Lab rats. Yeah. They're just lab rats for them, and they don't maintain
no empathy.
No, nothing. So that had to be reflected in terms of the colors and texture as well, not just the maintenance of props or the form of the structure. So it should look like an abandoned power plant which is situated in an Indo-Tibetan border, hence the snow in the exterior shots, and interior shots had the feeling of abandonment, and they quickly renovated it in just with very few minute resources to just sustain the subjects there.
Where was this built, the set? Was this in an abandoned plant? Like we were showed in the movie, we saw this huge power plant. Sense of continuity was really maintained.
We couldn't get permissions in any of the power plants to shoot the way we wanted to. It's okay because we were able to recreate what we were looking for and had luxury of staging and choreography in terms of action also.
Right. Right.
But recreating our vision here, I just feel very fortunate that I got to build the world of 333 from scratch, and that too, every time it was 360 degree.
Oh,
it
wow.
was never just a wall or a corner or just an L shape. Everything from a corridor to the labs to the rooms, everything was built 360, set decor 360. You can just put a camera anywhere and shoot any angle.
Right.
So that ways you live and breathe in that world. Even the actors could feel the world, right? For them to act or enact a certain scene.
How you've achieved the whole vibe of the 333 world. And so you were telling me that this was during COVID and you were working in like like weird times and you were working on a very scary subject. How was the entire feel? Like, what was the size of the crew that was working with you at this time?
Very minimal, like 5 to 6 people of NIF students with me, creating all the props and doing all the texture. Yeah, I did get few tapi mistris and carpenters to build the structure, and the cement was a big feat to achieve because they're used to making finer cement mixtures and apply it neatly on the wall. When I told them you have to throw it on the wall like grunge of the entire world, because I exaggerated the texture.
Right.
And in camera it looks grungy.
Right.
Otherwise when you'll feel it'll look very rough and withered. You'll hurt your fingers if you touch it.
Right.
But that's what gave us the desired result of feeling of claustrophobia, the grunge. And even when I read the script, this was my personal favorite story from the entire film, and I was really looking forward to the shoot or watch it on screen because 333 was my favorite character as well.
Right.
I was feeling when would this poor guy escape from the cell and when will he go outside? That's what I felt when I was reading the script, that emotion I wanted to translate into my design and the sets which I was building, that people should feel eerie, a sense of vulnerability should be there.
Right.
So that's what I tried to achieve here.
Right. Did you have like a template, like a filter in the sense? Did you know that like I'm creating 4 to 5 spaces here for the 333 world. All of them will have the same walls. All of them will have the same finish. Did it happen like that, or did you curate each space separately?
Though they all look together, like belong to the same world,
right,
but the textures differed. Like what texture you see in 333's wall wouldn't be there in the corridor, and it wouldn't reflect in the labs. They have to be a little cleaner, right? So that's why we have tiles in the labs.
Okay.
I cannot go for that grunge.
Right.
Certain amount of medical things are going on, and they need to follow little hygiene at least.
Little organization.
Yeah.
So when you take these inspirations, I've also heard in one of your interviews that even Shutter Island an inspiration for this. So we know very evidently that they were not performing lobotomies, right? They were just a psych ward or something like that. How did you draw that mood but not that visual aesthetics? How could you do that?
Shutter Island or Shape of Water, all of these movies, as an audience there's something fishy going on, but for the doctors or the facilities there, they were not showing that and make it seem like all is fine.
Yeah, right.
But here we know that Bakshi is cruel, or there's a military official forcing him to do certain experiments and everything's illegal, and all the subjects also in the cells know that something off is going on, but they're unable to seek for help.
Right.
It's direct that everything's wrong here.
Right.
But there it's not.
Right.
So we did seek inspiration from there, but we cannot apply directly here because the scripts are different, the emotions are different here.
Right.
We're not trying to confuse the audience here. The audience knows. Even the people working in the cat cell know that it's all unfair, but they're doing it because they have to.
Right.
So that is direct here.
Right.
That's why it's not as clean as Shape of Water or Shutter Island.
Very well. So that's where a production designer comes into. That's crazy.
Whose job is not just to prop it up, but to get the emotion right.
Right.